and I would sit. I think I sat across from you because I would
Yes,
always
I
see.
do remember
'cause I would
this like
see
creepy
you.
kid that would stare at
I
me.
don't- It wasn't creepy because
You
I
were a little
wasn't-
creepy.
Yeah, but I want to be like fucking staring at you like crazy, like a little like creepy crackhead in
No,
the
it was
corner.
more like a cute little like the cute little nerdy kid that would just like glance across. Yeah. Welcome back to the Unhinged Marriage Podcast with your host, Jenny, and her co-host, this fool over here. On this episode, we are going to talk about how this lovely man over here won his dream girl.
Yeah, so that is a hell of a story. I can tell you that. So where do I start?
When was the first time you realized you had a crush on me?
So the first time I laid my eyes upon this beautiful specimen was in high school. Well, I knew who she was in junior high actually because we went to the same junior high, but it wasn't really, there was really no spark there because we were still pretty young. But I knew who you were.
I honestly didn't.
Faintly. Well, I faintly knew who you were. I didn't know exactly who you were, but I faintly knew who you were. But it was in high school when kind of I noticed you a lot more. Because again, she was Miss Popular because she did dance and stuff. So like a lot of people in school knew who she was. And I was, let's just say, some little nerdy, chubby kid.
Like the way I describe you.
So picture this: chubby little nerdy kid.
Well, he was
with a big ass backpack
Yeah.
and oversized sweater and pants. That's kind of like the
That's
Echo.
kind of how I remember you.
The Echo area, the Echo era. The Echo era. And for all you 90s babies, probably know what I'm talking about.
With the baggy pants and the white sneakers
big
and the
old
huge backpack.
sweaters and the big ass backpack.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I mean, I could probably pull up a photo and show you guys somewhere here. But yeah, but that's kind of like when I started to like.
So was that like
have a
freshman
crush,
year, sophomore year?
Sophomore year probably is when I started really having a crush on you. I was like, damn, like I'm never gonna be able to, date this woman. Like she's Miss Popular, and I'm over here nerdy kid playing with fucking Magic the Gathering cards and Yu-Gi-Oh. Like,
oh my god, he was in the nerd tree.
We
will show a picture of what we were talking about for those of you who went to the same high school.
So we went to actually to give more context. We went to Santa Barbara High School. We both attended Santa Barbara High School.
Same grade.
Yeah, same grade from 9 to 12, 2009 to 2012, and
08 to 12.
08.
Mm-hmm.
9 to 12. Why would it be 8?
08, that's when we started. It's 4 years.
9, 10, 11, 12.
08.
8, 9, 10, 11,
Did we
12.
not
That's
start
5.
in 08?
No, we started 09.
I'm sorry.
Didn't like I don't.
Okay, clearly, I had some of my brain cells.
I'm pretty sure we started 09.
I thought it was 08.
No, because 9, 10, 11, 12. 4. Why would he start in 08?
Wouldn't it be 08 to 09, 09 to 10, 10 to 11,
No.
11 to 12?
No, because
That's too
when
many
do we
years.
graduate? We graduate in the summer of 08, right? And then I guess we start at the end of 08 during
Right. Anywho, let's keep going.
whatever. Anyways, 9 to 12.
Yes.
That's kind of the grades that we were in together in high school. But I didn't start having a crush on her till sophomore year, 10th grade, pretty much.
Sophomore year is 9th grade.
I was
Isn't it?
no, it's 10. I was a 9. It's 10. I don't know what kind of crack she be smoking in the house, but or I don't know where the hell she's getting it from, but it's sophomore 10.
I think I shouldn't have drank before we got here. I'm just kidding.
You didn't drink?
I'm actually really sober, so I'm just.
It's 10.
We're gonna edit part of this out.
It's 10. So sophomore year, 10th grade. You can check the yearbooks when we get home, but I'm pretty sure it's 10.
Okay.
So sophomore year is when I kind of had started a crush on her, and it, like I said, I didn't really see myself there's no way I'd ever be able to date this woman. Impossible. But over the years, we had a class together too. I believe it was.
I think we had one class,
government
our senior year when because I think I got nominated for prom princess.
Was that senior year?
Mm-hmm,
Yeah. Oh, okay. And that's because I saw her get nominated for prom princess in that class, and I would sit. I think I sat across from you because I would always see.
Remember this creepy kid that would stare at me.
It wasn't creepy because
I was a little creepy.
Yeah, but I want to be fucking staring at you like crazy, like a little creepy crackhead.
No,
in the
it was
corner.
it was more like a cute little the cute little nerdy kid that would just glance across. Yeah.
But given mine senior year, I already lost a good amount of weight. I was already a lot thinner and stuff. I wasn't obviously as big as I am now. Because I didn't really lift a lot of weights, but I was definitely a lot skinnier. Freshman, sophomore year, a little bit of junior year, I was pretty chubby. I didn't really focus a lot on my health per se. But senior year, I was definitely a lot thinner. But yeah, I would sit across from her in government class because I would obviously want to see her. But again, I never had I was never brave enough to go up to her and ask her out on a date because it's come on. Like I said, this nerdy ass kid from freaking.
Well, I think at that time too, I was in a relationship.
Probably, I wouldn't doubt it. I mean.
Oh, thank you.
Well, no, I mean, I'm saying it as I wouldn't doubt it. Who wouldn't want to be in a relationship with you? That's what I mean.
That's a good save.
That's what I mean. Mm-hmm. So that's what I was going towards. Okay. But I just never had the courage to ask her out, and it was until college pretty much where so we rekindled. Well, she had a good friend. We had both pretty much the mutual friend.
Yeah, we had the same friend. He was my friend first, actually.
Mm-hmm. In high school,
we've been friends since freshman year, which is 09.
Yes,
09. And so we actually lost touch after high school because he had moved out to Bakersfield, and you also were friends with him throughout high school.
A little bit throughout high school, not too much, because he'd hang out with different group of people.
Yeah, he was everywhere.
But it was more towards at the end of high school. We hung out a little bit in high school, but it was more towards senior year-ish. That's kind of where we were.
Yeah.
So
he had
every now and then, but he
so
left
after high school. He came back.
After high school. He dipped to Bakersfield, California, and I went into college. He was in college in Bakersfield, and then she was going to UCSB already.
I was at City College.
You were at City College for a little bit, and then
went to UCSB.
I think 2 years later or something like that. After when you started going to UCSB, that's when he hit me up. He was saying he was moving back and he was trying to find a place. And I was like, well, I mean, you could just come crash with me in my room.
Yeah, we were 21 at that time.
Yeah, I was about 21 years old. And that's when he kind of came back, and then we became roommates. Mm-hmm. And we would just start hanging out together. We would just hang out together, go do stuff, go play soccer, go to the gym.
And then one day we all met up. Well, we didn't meet, actually.
No,
I think I was going to
I can tell you, it was fate.
It really was fate, because that day I wasn't even supposed to be in that area, that neighborhood. I decided randomly to go to the dollar store because I needed something for school, and I parked, I think, at Staples, and I walked around the building, and as I was walking back towards Staples, which is no longer there, but it's on State Street.
No, you were walking to the dollar store. We were walking down.
Oh, you guys were walking to the beach, right?
or something? Yeah, we were walking to the beach. So we were walking. We already keep in mind, we already passed the dollar store. So imagine she parked at the actual dollar store. We wouldn't have.
Yeah, but it was full. Path. Yeah,
but she parked at Staples side, which is around the corner, and we were walking down State Street, which is our main downtown here in Santa Barbara. And she came around the corner and was walking up, and she hadn't seen Johnny, was our friend.
In years.
and years. They just.
I mean, it was maybe like 3 or 4 years. Yeah.
But still years. And they hadn't seen each other in a long time. And then me and Johnny were best buds by then. And they actually crossed paths and they saw each other and they're like, what the hell? Like, Johnny, Jenny, what's going on? Like,
yeah. And at that time, I was going through kind of a falling out with a friend of mine. And so we decided to reconnect. I got reintroduced to you officially because I don't think I remember you briefly.
Yeah, probably.
And from there, we all started just hanging out again. At that time, I was really into fitness. Johnny was like my gym buddy, and he would invite me to everything. And secretly, he knew you had a crush on me. And I think on purpose, he would invite me and you for everything. We'd go out, we'd go clubbing together, we'd go to the gym together. And after a while, he started not showing up. He would just slowly invite the both of us and to gym sessions and just be like, oh, I have to work, or like, whatever it was. Or I would invite them downtown and he wouldn't come, but he would send Heido in his place because he was kind of like my big brother.
And that it's funny because so I was of course I was trying to, slowly get my foot in. We were friends for a while before we even actually
maybe about a year.
Dated. And I was trying, to slowly get my foot in to like date and want to date and be a couple and stuff. And it was funny because there was a time when we were all hanging out. I believe we were probably at your house or we were somewhere. And
yeah, it was you, me, Johnny, and his brother. Misa.
Yeah. And then she says, you guys are like brothers to me. Like I think we were probably out, or she was like a little faded or something. I don't remember. But it was a time we would go out a lot on the weekends and stuff, all together and stuff, just have fun. But it was funny because I was like, damn, like
legit
I'm a
friend
brother.
zone.
Yeah, legit, just friend zone.
Yeah, I pretty much grouped you with the two of them because literally those two were like my brothers, and you fell into that category. And at that point, I didn't think of you as anything. Like, I think once Johnny kind of stopped coming with us and we started hanging out by ourselves, I started to see how dorky you were. I started to actually check you out and notice you because at that time you were starting to kind of get more definition.
Yeah, it was more about the gym.
You were really sweet and you were there. And at that time I was going through a really, really rough time with a previous person I was dating and a previous friend. And in that moment, you could have easily just taken advantage of every time I was drunk or whatever, and you didn't. You actually denied me one time, which I was kind of thrown as well. And I think with just the time, I think with you just being so respectful, you being you honestly won me over. And you even did some magic for me one time. And I fell apart. I was like, I thought that was the coolest thing with some card trick you did. And, and that's how I felt. I was like, wow, this is a totally different type of dude. I've never dated the dorky, quirky, just, humble, patient, like teddy bear. And I always would, I'd go for the bad boys, or I'd go for, the ones that I had to work for, because that's a whole nother topic. But I think, without Johnny's assistance, I probably wouldn't have ever thought to look for you or look at you. And just over time, I mean, our friendship turned into something more. And and one day, I don't know if I started it, and I was
I mean, we would obviously sleep over every now and then and stuff because
the boys would come over, we'd do movie nights.
It'd be late, and then we just sleep over and stuff. And I mean, it just slowly grew from there. She kind of started seeing me more than just a friend or a brother. And
to put it into context, because it sounds kind of funny that I'd have you boys over for sleepovers, I was living alone at the time, and I didn't really have a lot of like family or anything. And Johnny was like my best friend, my bestie, and so they would come over because I had just moved into an apartment and I was scared to live by myself. And so like, just as a context of like why you guys were always at my house,
why would be over
I would feed them a lot too. Like they would, I'd, make them cookies, or we'd have pizza or whatever. And so they were like my brothers. Like, And just, one of them was a little more than that.
Yeah. And from there, it just kind of grew, and we kind of fell in love and grew from there. And going a little bit back to like the whole magic stuff. Learn some magic, boys, if you want to.
Oh my gosh.
If you want to,
some of us love it.
Win a girl over, like
yes.
It's. I learned a lot of things when I was younger. I would always be interested in so many things.
You even play the guitar.
So
you sang me a song too, and I just like melted, and I was like, "What the heck is this dude? Like, where's he been all my life?"
Yeah. So I learned a lot of different skill sets that allowed me to also win her over. It wasn't easy, but at the same time, those skill sets helped me.
Yeah.
So it's, nerdy kid like me can get an amazing rocking girl like this. So can you. Just learn magic, learn the guitar, learn skills.
I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah. Like go to the gym, work on yourself. 'Cause you can get the girl that you want. Trust me. You just have to focus on you first.
Well, yeah. I mean, you had this like confidence of you too. I remember, you were very shy for sure, but you kind of knew who you were, and you didn't pretend to be a douchebag. You didn't pretend to be,
like I wasn't a douchebag. That's why.
Well, but you know what I mean? Like you didn't pretend to be like a player just to like make yourself look better. You were just you.
Yeah.
You were literally like this nerdy gamer dude in the inside who, who I ended up falling in love with because I grew up with all guys, and I grew up with, watching my cousins and my brothers play, do land parties where they would play COD or a game of World of Warcraft and, all these different things. And I grew up watching, like anime and so it's like, it's funny enough to think like sometimes we don't see what's right in front of us and it's what we need. And I was just so blessed that, I got a hot guy who was also a nerd on the inside. And that's like the best combination because half the time I don't have to worry about you wanting to go out and party. All you want to do is like stay home and play video games. And I did not think I needed that. I did not think that was so peaceful to just not have to worry about you wanting to go clubbing and getting drunk and doing all these things. It was like what I needed. And we'll probably do a different podcast with like my horrible dating history.
Oh yeah.
And why I say I'm so blessed.
That's a whole like 10 hours.
My whole life is a book, but I really think that was also another thing that sometimes we don't realize is that we think we want the looks. We think we want a certain standard, and half the time it's like we just need someone who loves us, someone who is sure of themselves, and someone who, takes care of themselves too. Because a lot of times our partners, they stop taking care of themselves because they think they don't have to try anymore or, whatever it is. And so I just think for sure in the beginning, you were what I needed. Not to say not what I wanted, because I obviously want you like 100%, but it was just something that was different, and sometimes different is good. Sometimes
you fell into wanting me
because
I'm sure because we all want a certain thing, a certain look, right? But at the same time, like she was saying, like sometimes it's right in front of you. Like you just have to look and have to realize that.
Well, it's even with you. Like you didn't think you had a chance with me, and then
no way.
you. I don't know if it was a miracle or whatnot, but like you got her, you got me, and you were just yourself. You didn't have to be anything but yourself because you worked on yourself first. You gained a friendship, and you threw yourself out there, and I was like, this is what I want. This is who I want, and I went for it. Versus you being somebody that you're not.
Let's go. Another win for the nerds, guys.
You can get out of the friend zone.
Yeah, you can. You can do it. You can get out of the friend zone. You can.
It takes time.
Yeah, that and work on yourself. Trust me.
Yeah, I think from this takeaway for sure, like how we started, I kind of knew who I was at that time. I obviously had a lot of baggage, which, that's another conversation.
Yeah,
But the fact that you worked on yourself and you knew what you wanted, I think was very crucial for you to find a partner. Because a lot of time I feel like,
well, and anything in life, it's like you have to understand what you want, both in a relationship, in a partner, and in your personal life, or in anything that you want in the future. You just have to really understand what you want. Because if you're uncertain of what you want, you're not gonna you're gonna be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And she's what I wanted, so I focused on getting her, right? Whether it took a year, 2 years, like I achieved it and I got her, right? So it's like, and in that process, it's like you also learn more of the type of person that you are, and you also grow as an individual as well too. So it's like, just understand that like you have to really be clear on what you want in anything, and then you can achieve it, right? But that's kind of how our relationship was built, and how how our love story came to be. So we obviously grateful for Johnny for, helping us also put that together. And,
he was
slowly,
actually the best man at our wedding.
He was, yeah, actually he was.
It's funny enough, in his speech, he told this whole story very drunk, but
yeah, very drunk.
He's a huge part of, our love story, and, we love him a lot. And he actually just got married too, and I think he's celebrating this year, his 2nd year.
I believe so.
And we will be bringing him on as well to tell a little bit of the story and about his love story. And that's kind of why we started this podcast, because we want to share our story and our struggles and how we overcome things, but we also want to hear
and show you guys that nothing's perfect, right? Like,
oh my God, no.
Like, I'm sure people on social media post stuff and make everything look so perfect and pretty and sparkly and everything.
I know, sometimes I don't believe half the stuff I post about us, and I'm like, is that really us? But in a sense it is.
But again, like, no relationship is perfect. So this is one of the reasons why we wanted to create this podcast, to help you guys see that, like, okay, like we went through all these things, like, to get to where we are now. It's
because some people look at us and they're like, how do you guys do it? How are you guys so great together? And you guys are goals. And it's like, well, I mean, thank you, but
it took time, and it took work and effort.
It's still a work in progress.
And we're still growing, and we're still building, because it's never over. The journey is never over, guys. Like, you're always going to be growing. You're always going to be learning, whether it's with somebody or doing something else. Like, you're always going to grow no matter what in anything in life. And you should always continue to try to grow with a partner, and in life in general, and never stop learning about each other, and about just personal things that you want to grow yourself. Like, she has goals, I have goals, but we also have goals together, so it's just something that you guys should think about.
I mean, honestly, it's just being in a relationship, in a marriage. It's not perfect. It's not going to be, what you see on Instagram, on social media. It might be, it might not be, but the only way it's going to be perfect is if you make it perfect. If you have the conversations, if you have the communication, the trust, the being yourself, working on yourself, and just, looking towards the future, because sometimes we're so stuck on just the day-to-day, or we plan too much and then we get disappointed. And I think if we just work together, I mean, that's the whole point of having two people, is working together and overcoming everything, and understanding that the past is the past, and what we did right, we will take with us, and what we did wrong, we will learn and move forward.
Yeah. And being perfect is not, who wants to be perfect, right? Like, not
I'm perfect.
Yes, in my eyes, she is. But
thank you.
What I mean by that is that I make her the perfect person for me, and she makes me the perfect person for her. That's how you grow, right? That's how you make each other perfect. You have to make sure that your attributes grow with hers, and hers grows with you.
Yeah, I feel like that's such a misconception with so many people. They think, how'd you get the perfect guy or how'd you get the perfect girl? And it's like, well, what's your definition of perfect? Because they communicate, because they look good, because they make a certain amount of money. Well, what are you doing to feed that? What are you doing to ensure that that person will continue doing that? Because sometimes in the beginning of the relationship, we try so hard to get the girl, get the guy, and we forget to continue doing those things. And the only way someone's perfect is if you're continuously encouraging them to do the great things that make them perfect. Because if you stop encouraging them, you stop, showing up for them, and you stop showing up for yourself, then you're not going to be perfect anymore. And you're going to have to go look for another perfect. And it's like they say, the grass is only green where you water it. It's not going to be greener on the other side. And sure, it might look greener on the other side, but maybe there's sprinklers on 24/7. But what happens when you don't pay the water bill? What happens when you don't look at it? It's going to go back to brown. So you have to always make sure you are feeding the light into your partner to make them perfect.
Yeah, to make them the person that you want them to be, and vice versa. That's what a relationship is. It's
Literally.
growing together. And if you're not ready for that, then just don't be in a relationship.
Yeah, just be true to yourself and just understand that relationships take work. It's not just we love each other, they look good, I look good, we have good sex. Like, it's not all about that. It's about what is it that we need to do to continue being in a good relationship? Are we going towards marriage? Are we not? Are we just, friends with benefits? Like, it's having that understanding with your other person, because sometimes we just get into relationships or we get into marriages and we think, oh, well, everyone's doing it. That's what we should be doing. We're 25, we're 30, we're whatever age. That's what we need to be doing. But then you don't realize what it takes to be in a marriage, what it takes to be in a relationship. And I feel like a lot of us yes, I should include myself, because we still have to take that time to make sure we're doing what we need to do for that person. And not forgetting that it's not just we're married, that's it. No, like, we're married. Now we have to even try even harder, because we don't want this marriage to fall apart. Because for us, that's something so sacred that we would hate to do it all over again, or even to just call it quits, because we just stopped trying. We stopped watering the garden of our relationship.
Yeah, couldn't have said it more perfect enough. Like the woman,
That's why I'm perfect.
like the woman she is. But to end on that note, guys, we're very blessed to have you guys watching this episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on that notification for the next episode. And then follow us. We'll put our little handles right down here. Follow my wife, follow me on social media. We're also going to have our actual Instagram for our podcast as well, that we'll be posting a lot of stuff on there. So yeah, guys, if there's anything you learned from this episode, is make sure that you learn skills, because you'll get that girl. Trust me.
Make sure you're perfect. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Make sure you are the perfect person for yourself, so you could be the perfect person for someone else.
Exactly. And nerds, another win for us. So we'll see you guys on the next one.
Bye.
Peace.